Hey guys, Mike here from MVB Outdoors. For this video, I'm going to go over how I solo load and unload a larger kayak to and from a truck at a boat ramp and at your home. Loading a kayak into a truck at an incline can be challenging, but the method I've come up with has been working really well. I see this question come up pretty often for these larger kayaks, so hopefully this is helpful if you're trying to figure out how to transport your own kayak or seeing if the process doing it solo is for you. If you do find this helpful, let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. If you've already subscribed, welcome back to the channel. For my hauling setup, I'm using a standard 5/6 truck bed that I've extended using a hitch extender. These hitch extenders work great for these longer kayaks and provide plenty of room to support them from both ends. The truck bed extender slots into your hitch similar to a trailer. The main support gets slid in and locked into place with a hitch pin, and then you're ready to load. I've zip tied a cloth towel to the top of the extension bar, and I keep a small run of carpet in the truck bed itself to make sliding the kayak in and out as easy as possible. I also have a bed liner in the truck, which is basically sandpaper, so I didn't want the bottom of the kayak scraping every time it was loaded and unloaded. With the extender in place, the first step is getting the transom end of the kayak onto the extension bar. The double handles on the rear of the Crescent kayak makes this really easy, and most kayaks will have some kind of rear grip for this. With the rear of the kayak positioned, I move to the front of the kayak and lift it up so it slides easily into the truck. From here, I'll slide it into position and work on strapping it down. For straps, I use a single cam strap threaded through the rear handles to keep the rear of the kayak from sliding around. I keep a towel between the back of the kayak and the bed to protect it from the bed liner. For the front of the kayak, I run another single cam strap through the front handle and anchor it to both sides of the bed extender. Make sure you don't use ratchet straps for this. They can apply way too much torque and deform or even worse, crack your kayak. The launch location I'm using for this video is a boat ramp, but all kayak launches might not be this steep. The process will only be easier on level ground. To start with unloading the kayak, I have the truck backed up to the water. The first thing I do is unstrap the rear tie down. Make sure you keep the front strap in place if you're on an incline, or the kayak can and will slide out of the truck. With the rear strap removed, I position in front of the kayak and hold it in place while I remove the front strap. It doesn't take much pressure to keep it from sliding out when you remove the strap, but make sure you do keep hold of it. With both straps removed, I slowly guide the kayak out of the truck. The kayak can be unloaded onto solid ground, but I like to let it slide right into the water to give it a little bit of a softer landing. As it slides out of the truck, I walk it down with my hands, finally grabbing the rear handles and setting the back of the kayak down. At that point, you can load your gear, park your truck, and you're good to go. Okay, now for the fun part. Loading a large kayak on an incline can be difficult, but it's still doable. After coming in off the water and moving the kayak to the side of the launch, the first thing I do is go and grab the truck. I back the truck up to roughly the same position as when I launched it, but I'll leave enough room so that I can turn the kayak around and it can be loaded transom end first. I position the strap on the hitch extender so it's within reaching distance. With the front strap in place and the kayak in position, I lift the rear of the kayak onto the extender. You only need to balance it on the extender, you don't need to push it into the truck bed yet. From here, I walk down the kayak applying some pressure to keep it from sliding out. When I reach the front, I grab the handle and lift it as high as I can while pushing forward. Once you lift the front past the pivot point, the kayak will slide right in with little resistance. Once the kayak is mostly in the truck, I'll reach for the front strap while still holding the kayak. You want to get this strap threaded through the front handle and loosely tighten it down as quickly as you can. Once you have the front strap down, the hard part is done. The kayak can't slide out of the truck now, and you can work on continuing to load your gear and strapping down the rest of the kayak. At home, the process for unloading is even easier. I'll unstrap both ends of the kayak, slide it out enough to set the front down, and then once it's on level ground, there's little risk for the kayak sliding out. With the front down, I move to the rear, lift by the handles, and pull it out. The hardest part about loading and unloading solo is making sure the kayak doesn't slide out of the truck and having enough strength to lift the front or rear end of the kayak up to the bed height. If you can do those two things, it's more than possible to load and unload a larger fishing kayak solo. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to answer them. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you have any tips or tricks of your own for hauling a larger kayak, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and thanks for watching.